Hello again guys, Liam here. I know it's surprising, 2 videos released within a matter of days of each other. I'm impressed with myself. I'm sure that you're quite taken aback by this. But here we go. This is going to be a lesson about sit and go strategy, the first quartile of a tournament. I mentioned it in my excessively long video, which people have watched quite a lot. I was quite taken aback by how many people watched that. I thought it was a bit of a long video, but hey, thanks a lot for that. Just a quick note about what I'm going to be talking about here. It's my own personal opinion, so let's not start a comment war in the section below, because people have their own ways of playing tournaments, and this is merely the way I would recommend a beginning player to play in the first quartile of a tournament. I would recommend playing tight and then slowly more aggressive towards the end. And by that I mean, in the first quartile you're going to be playing only aces, kings, queens and jacks. This is simply because the pot is going to be so small that it is not worth piddling around with hands that are only going to win you 30 chips or could potentially bust you out if you got overly excited when playing them. The other way that I would recommend playing is the way that I play, but this is simply because I believe I'm good enough to get away from dangerous hands, and that is to try and get involved in pots in the beginning for very cheap and attempt to hit a big hand that's well disguised and bust your opponent. This I would recommend doing with any sort of pocket pair that you can get in cheaply with to the flop, and if you hit it, you hit it. If you don't, you don't. You could also do this with ace suited cards and try and hit the flush, and when you don't, try and get out of there. The problem with this is that most beginning players will hit their ace and then have a poor kicker and get themselves knocked out, which is just not what you want. Other hands that I would maybe recommend you try playing in the early stages, if you think you're up to it, is suited connected cards or just connected cards, because these have the potential to obviously make straights and small flushes, but don't go chasing hands that you think that you could possibly get on the turn of the river. You're basically looking for an exceptional flop. So when you go into the hand, remember that when you're on the flop, what you were actually looking for, because if you pick up a gut shot, that wasn't exactly what you intended. You intended to make an open-ended straight, or an open-ended straight and flush draw, which would be remarkable. So don't get yourself deluded by, oh, I only need 4 cards to make a straight here, because then you're just chasing cards, and that's not what we're trying to do in the first stage of the tournament. So yeah, that's kind of how I'd recommend playing in the first section of the tournament, but it's entirely up to you. Don't go for any big bluffs, because if you are bluffing, you're basically trying to win around 80 chips, and you're going to be betting every street trying to make this person fold. And especially if you're playing the low stakes, this person's going to call you with practically anything, and it's just not worth it. It's much better to pick up pots in the later stages of the tournament, where 1 pot there would be worth around 4 pots in the early stage. So really you just want to hold around, take notes, watch how your opponents play, and get used to how the tournament's running. I think that about covers everything you need to know about the first quartile. I would say that the first quartile is around the 10, 20, 15, 30 mark, but that's entirely up to you guys where you decide it ends and the next quartile begins. I'll be talking about the next quartiles in my later videos. Just a quick thanks to Rob Techno Beats, who spotted a crazy error in my last video. Thanks a lot for correcting that, and thanks for watching guys, and have a great day.